Hi, Paul Heinze with Goldberg Heinze Business Advisors and longtime friend and expert CPA principal of Kutchins, Robbins Diamond's CPA and firm and consultants. We're going to talk about something that eventually everyone will be faced with, and that is the preparation and ultimate sale of your business. Al, good to have you with us again.
Thanks, Paul. Last week, I had the pleasure of working with Paul's partner, Joel Goldberg, on our XPX group, Exit Planning Exchange. And we had a panel on preparing for the sale of your business. And I just wanted to take a few minutes and recap what'll be part 1 of 4 in preparing to sell your business. And while most people think first of the dollars, I think the most important part are some of the emotional issues that need to be addressed in the process.
Yes.
One of my favorite authors is Michael Gerber, who wrote the E-Myth Revisited. And in that, he focuses on preparing your business for sale from day one, because all entrepreneurs dream of a successful exit from their business. It's not only the current income, but it's like truly birthing a child. And often we spend more time with the business than we do with our family. And so the first thing in what I'm calling soft issues that you really need to take a hard look at is, have you talked to your wife?
Yes.
You know, she said that she was going to marry you for better or worse, but that didn't mean for lunch every day. You know, you're both used to being separated, maybe having dinner and some weekend time together, but is she ready to have you under her feet all the time? Do you have other business partners? Have you talked to them? Are they your same age? Are you on the same path towards retirement? Or do you have younger partners that have no interest in selling the business now because they're starting out in their career? And in the 4th episode, Paul and I will have a very interactive discussion on different methods of selling, and we'll discuss partner buyouts and such at that time. Do you have other family members working in the business, be it brothers, sisters, or your children? Will they be able to continue employment? Are they capable of adding value? We've seen many families where the children or other relatives are employed, and it's like a gift, and your potential buyer is not going to be interested in retaining them for a long period of time. So I think you need to address this when you start on this journey of selling your business. One of the questions that comes up every time is, how long is the seller going to work for? You know, the buyer wants a smooth transition because there's a lot of proprietary knowledge in the head of the owner entrepreneur. But in a lot of cases, the buyer doesn't want you around that long. He wants to put in his own leadership that's invigorated with new ideas, and possibly he's doing a roll-up of multiple companies, and you or your team might not have the skill set in order to manage that type of explosive growth. Uh, Other things to think about. What are you going to do with all your time once you get past your employment agreement? Are you active in charities? Because charitable work could consume you 24/7. I'm personally on 6 or 7 boards, and I can spend as much time as I want, and it's very fulfilling. So that's, a thought that most owners need to think about, because you can't golf 7 days a week, particularly if you live up in the Illinois area.
Right.
And one of the last areas is, have you sat down with what your budget is going to be? How much money do you really need after you pay Uncle Sam and Governor Pritzker for their share, and look at the savings that you have? Is that going to provide you and your family the lifestyle that you dreamt of as an entrepreneur? So these are things that I think every business person needs to think of. Stephen Covey said it in a different way: begin with an end in mind. So you need to think of these. And this will lead into our future sessions that need to deal with the actual preparation of the business for sale, the process that you'll go through in selling, and items that impact you after the sale. So we look forward in discussing these things with you in future episodes.
Let's rewind for just a moment and go back to a couple of points from the seller broker standpoint. Al and his team has, for years and years, prepared people for the operational success of selling the business. The emotional side covers part of what Al and his team do and what we do, and that is look around you when you are first getting the notion of selling your business and see who may be internally not necessarily financially capable, but have the experience, the skill, the manner with people in terms of employees, customers, vendors, perhaps younger people that would like a break. If that appeals to you, begin preparing by discussion in a general sense, saying to Mr. Jones or Ms. Smith, have you ever given a thought to acquiring or operating a business like this one, for example? And don't make it a long selling pitch, but plant the seed. Just as Al so aptly put it moments ago, talk to your wife. The impact that the business owner has within the walls of his or her business carries forward to the walls of the home and to the family and to distant relatives as well as near relatives. When you're going to make a significant change, especially by preparing to sell your business, it can be handled in a number of different very successful ways. So your awareness as an owner, your mission, perhaps even just your vision of what it's going to be like at the end of the game is something that you should give a lot of thought to and seek the input and advice of people who have done it for others or have done it themselves. If you happen to be in a peer group setting, it's a great opportunity to do that. One thing that's humorous is that I was talking about having the seller around for a long time. Well, probably one of the most frequent things that we see is that the owner's welcome has run out after he's sold within a very short time because he or she can't let go. They don't realize that somebody else owns it now. And the honeymoon is quickly and abruptly brought to an end, perhaps 90 days or 6 months. So the message here is, don't believe that you're going to get an employment agreement for 5 years. By the same token, you are probably going to be required to sign, execute a multi-year non-competition agreement so that you can't grab the check, go down the street, and open up a similar or competitive business. Those are things that are logical, but not only are they logical, they happen all the time. So be prepared for it, okay? So in any event, what other aspects here, Al, do you believe that we can touch on as far as the beginning phases of getting ready to get ready to get ready?
I think you brought out an important point, Paul. Well, many, but I'm actually going through it myself in that I'm going to start my buyout. And it was my baby that I created. And I'm also recognizing that I got it to a certain level. And I don't necessarily have the skill set or the energy at 73-ish in order to take it to the next level. And I think that owners need to realize that, which will help them maximize their future value, because if they ride the ship too long and it starts going down because they don't have the knowledge or the energy to take it to the next level, that they're going to be losing dollars, even if the exit occurs slightly before what they had psychologically anticipated.
Yes, absolutely. Which, to carry that a few other steps, we're talking about the privilege of having the opportunity to plan. Al and I both can give you more examples of situations where time was not available based on, let's say, illness or some other marital or family issue, a tragedy of some kind, to say nothing of economic influences based on a recession, based on technology that's come forward that, in effect, in a short time, can damage your very comfortable business because someone has come up with a better widget. Way in the beginning of this conversation, Al mentioned about run it as though you're going to be selling it, and I could not agree more. From day one, as much as you possibly can, operate with prudence in terms of debt to equity relationships, the flexibility of cash flow and liquidity, and the preparation of Plan B, which could easily be put in the center drawer of your desk in the event of your unexpected passing from the business, so that people know some of the more important things about you, maybe your secretary, if it's not a big enough company to have a secretary, perhaps a superintendent, perhaps a manager of some kind. But begin documenting some things that, well, what bank do we deal with? You'd be surprised how many things you know that other people around you don't know. And different owners capitalize on that or are oblivious to the importance of it by not paying any attention to it. So give that some thought. We're going to be talking eventually on a checklist of things to do as far as planning, preparation, and in the mechanism of bringing the company to market. we're hoping that this is going to be intriguing, perhaps informative, at least enjoyable for you. Did you want to add anything else to our first encounter here, Al?
Great comments, Paul. I hope our audience is stimulated to ask some questions. You can reach me at 847-278-4335 or A Kutchins, Kutchins, at krdcpas.com. And we look forward to the opportunity to help any of our listeners in this challenging and an exciting experience of transitioning their business.
We appreciate you listening with us today. I'm Paul Heinze of Goldberg Heinze Business Advisors, and our website is simply goldbergheinze.com. The other 3 episodes that we're involved in making now, we believe will be appropriately marketed and alerted to you via social media, our website, perhaps the website at KRD. But this information can, by virtue of beyond knowledge, mean an awful lot of additional revenue to you in this particular process. Like a Boy Scout, be prepared, be ready, be knowledgeable. So until next time, I'm Paul Heinze. It was good that you were here. Look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Thanks, Al.
Thank you, Paul.